Welcome to Inner Peace. Today, the story which you will hear is a well-known parable in the world of martial arts and Zen Buddhism, often attributed to the legendary swordsman Miyamoto Musashi, or other Zen-inspired martial arts teachings. It's a powerful tale about patience, humility, and mastering one's mind before mastering a skill. The story of the aspiring swordsman and the master. Once, there was a young man with a dream to become the greatest swordsman in all of Japan. He heard of a renowned master who lived in a temple high up in the mountains, said to be unbeatable. Determined, he traveled to the temple to beg the master to teach him the ways of the sword. Upon reaching the temple, the master greeted him with silence, observing the young man's enthusiasm. After a long pause, the master finally agreed to take him in, but under one condition. The young man would have to do daily chores like sweeping the floors, cooking, chopping wood, and cleaning the temple grounds. The swordsman agreed, believing that the master would soon begin teaching him the art of swordsmanship. But days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, with no sword training. All the while, the master made him do only chores, giving him no instruction about the sword. However, there was one strange thing. Every now and then, as the young man worked, the master would suddenly attack him from behind with a wooden sword, catching him off guard. The attacks were swift and without warning, leaving the young swordsman bruised and frustrated. At first, he was confused and angry. Why was the master treating him this way? Why wasn't he being taught how to wield a sword? But over time, something changed. The young man became more alert, more aware of his surroundings, anticipating the master's surprise attacks even while performing mundane tasks. Without realizing it, he began to move like a swordsman, light on his feet, constantly ready for action. His reflexes sharpened, his awareness expanded. His mind became still, no longer obsessed with when the next attack would come. After years of this unorthodox training, the master finally called him to the training grounds and handed him a sword. "You are ready," the master said. The young man realized that, in those years of performing the simplest tasks while constantly being on guard, he had developed the skills of a true swordsman. His body, mind, and spirit had been prepared without him even knowing. So what we can learn from this story? The story teaches us several powerful lessons. 1. Patience and humility. The path to mastery isn't always direct. True learning often happens in ways that we don't expect, and great masters teach through life experiences rather than just formal instruction. 2. Mindfulness. Mastery of any skill, especially one as demanding as swordsmanship, begins with mastering the mind. The young swordsman learned to be fully present and aware, which is an essential part of any martial art or life skill. Trust the process. The young man wanted to be trained with the sword immediately, but his master knew that without the proper mental preparation, he wouldn't be ready. Sometimes growth happens in the background while we focus on seemingly unrelated tasks. 4th, unconventional training. The master's frequent surprise attacks forced the student to cultivate vigilance, quick reflexes, and presence, skills vital to a swordsman, but taught in an unorthodox manner. This story emphasizes the importance of inner growth in parallel to skill development, a lesson that can apply to not just martial arts, but any pursuit in life. If this story resonates with you, subscribe to Inner Peace for more wisdom from great teachings and inspiring life lessons. Remember, the path to mastery begins within.